EFL Championship Watford vs Oxford United prediction, team news, lineups preview. Watford and Oxford United will kick off the championship weekend on Friday, when they meet at Vicarage Road. The visitors climbed up to 14th spot in the championship table with a midweek victory, while their hosts remained 5th despite suffering a defeat on Tuesday. Match preview. Watford head back to Vicarage Road on Friday aiming to bounce back to winning ways and strengthen their standing at the top end of the championship after a strong start to the season. In their first full campaign under the management of Tom Cleverley, they currently sit 5th, having earned 22 points from their first 14 outings, albeit with only 6 of those coming from 2 victories alongside 3 defeats in their last 5 games. It is at home where the Hornets have excelled thus far, with no side in England's second tier having topped their tally of 16 points from 6 matches on home turf, most recently seeing off Blackburn Rovers at Vicarage Road. Cleverley's men did then end a tough run on the road with an eye-catching triumph away at Sheffield Wednesday, as Vicarage Road netted 4 goals in the second half alongside finishes from Ryan Porteous and Thomas in a 6-2 thrashing. Only to visit Swansea City on Tuesday and succumb to a 1-0 defeat as Miles Peart-Harris netted the only goal in the 35th minute. Now returning to Hertfordshire with a slender lead over 7th spot but with plenty of positives to take from their start to the term. Watford will go in search of a 6th home victory of the campaign on Friday. Their visitors, meanwhile, make the trip aiming to make it consecutive league victories for the second time this season on Friday, having ended a tough winless streak in midweek. Oxford United head into Friday's meeting with 17 points on the board from 14 games following their promotion from League One last time around. Although they have not fared well away from home, with only 2 of those points coming from 6 matches on the road. The U's suffered a 2-0 defeat to Sunderland in their most recent trip, before a 2-1 loss at home to Swansea City on Saturday left them winless in 8 games since mid-September heading into Tuesday's meeting with Hull City. Des Buckingham's side were able to stop the rot in that game, as Hida Traoré netted the only goal of the game in the 55th minute. That result saw Oxford United put a healthy gap between themselves and the championship's bottom 3. And they will now bid to record a 2nd straight triumph to further solidify their mid-table position. Team news. Watford remain without midfielder Moussa Sissoko heading into Friday's game due to a suspension, while defender Francisco Serralta will also miss out with a 1-match ban, having picked up a 5th yellow card of the season on Tuesday. The Hornets are also hit by the injuries of Angelo Ogbonna and Tom Delibashiru. Although Ryan Porteous will return from his own suspension and should rejoin Matty Pollock at the heart of a back 4 in Serralta's absence, Pierre Duomo should again get the nod alongside Edo Kayembe and Thomas in the midfield, while Vicarage Road could again lead the line with support from Ken Sema and danger man Georgi Shakvatadze. Oxford United continue to contend with a long injury list, as key midfielder Cameron Brannigan is set to remain confined to the treatment room with Joe Bennett, Przemysław Plaketa, Matt Phillips, Kyle Edwards, and Sariki Dembele. Des Buckingham should deploy a similar starting 11 from Tuesday's victory over Hull City, although Mark Harris will hope to regain his spot up front from Dane Scarlett, having settled for a substitute appearance in midweek, having managed 4 league goals so far this season. Ruben Rodriguez should also return from the outset, likely operating in an advanced midfield role ahead of Idris El Mazouni and Will Vaux. Watford possible starting lineup: Bachmann, Ebisile, Pollock, Porteous, Larouci, Ince, Duomo, Kayembe, Sema, Bayo, Shakvatadze. Oxford United possible starting lineup: Cumming, Traoré, Long, Moore, Brown, Vaux, El Mazouni, Gudrum, Rodriguez, Ebioe, Harris. We say, Watford 3-1 Oxford United. Aiming to maintain their near-perfect record at Vicarage Road this season. We see Watford having the quality to come out on top in another high-scoring contest on Saturday. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.